Hi, welcome to Creative Visions TV. I'm your host, Karen Dahlman. And what we're going to do today is an actual demonstration of using the board. The spirit guides are going to come through and give you guys a message too. And so I'm just going to walk you through every component of it, how I start. I'm going to walk you through the breathing exercise, the prayer, and then through the session itself. And I may stop at one point and explain something to you that I feel that you might need to understand more why I'm doing something or something's happening. So bear with me. Also, do watch this whole show, because what I'm going to do is when I put it into the video for you guys, I'm actually going to speed it up when the plancha's moving around. So it's like, and we can get to the punchline. But I am going to at least let you see at least one question, a little bit of slower rate speed, the normal speed, so you can see how it works. And then I won't let you sit there through that laborious, tedious work on the board. So, okay, we're going to start. So today I'm just going to go ahead and light a candle. I'm just going to light a white votive, and this is going to be to represent all of you and myself and white light. So I'm going to put it here. Imagine that this is the white light that surrounds us, envelops us, and I'm within a bubble of white light. So imagine yourself that way too. I also have a few channeling stones with me, my ametrine, my fluorspar, which is also fluorite, and my green obsidian. I just picked these because they called to me from my altar today when I set up the session. I have my pad of paper. I have my writing utensil. I write with my right hand, where my left hand, usually it's my ring finger, this finger right here, will go on the planchette here, as you can see in the video. I also have my digital recorder, which comes in super handy to record every single question I'm asking, also the discussion we are going to have as we go through the messages. So it's great to have all that on record, so you can go back and listen to it later if you choose to. Or you might write books like I do and use this for your fuel for the books. So, okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'll just explain this to you. I'm going to start with the breathing exercise. And this breathing exercise is called hips to heart. It actually came to me from the guides quite a few years ago. Probably, this one breathing exercise probably about 6-7 years ago, although I had different ones I used before that. This one I find very powerful because it takes you into the center of your body, the seat of the universe, which is really the womb for women, or it's a sacrum area for men and women. It's the place where life starts. And all the cultures of antiquity saw that as a very special part of the body. Plus, it's my throne. I sit on it, and it's a part of me that in my lower chakra that I'll send right into the ground. So I'm going to ask you to gather your breath, and with a few breaths, you're going to breathe deeply. And we're going to do this in a second. I'm just going to talk you through it. You're going to breathe deeply and throw your breath, push it down into your hip structure and into the earth. This is how you ground yourself. Grounding, anytime you do any kind of work with the other realms, it's a great way to get yourself centered. And by the way, I will use this technique when I have to go into a meet with an important client, business meeting, or I'm doing something that I need a little extra oomph, a little extra support. This will be my support. And then you take your breath, if you've done that a few times, maybe 3 times, up into your heart, and then breathe, focus on your heart and breathe in and out of your heart. Now, the idea here is as you do this, imagine something within your life, somebody, something, spouse, friend, pet, a situation that really brought you great joy. Because after all, one of the highest vibrations you could bring to yourself is the vibration of joy, which triggers love and gratitude. So you breathe love in and out of your heart. Really feel that. Now, that's a lot I said. If I was doing it right now, I would have been done with the exercise. So it really only takes maybe 20, 25 seconds. In the beginning, you might spend more like 40, 45 seconds, maybe even a minute. It's really up to you. You're going to know how much time you need to spend doing it. I'm so used to doing it that as soon as I take that first breath, the guides are here and I feel them. Because it's like I've already opened. I've really trained myself to open that quickly to these energies. And this is an important thing I want to point out. Right now I'm closed in a way. I haven't opened myself up. And this is important. Anytime you do any sacred work, you want to have an opening, and this is part of my opening, and then you want to have a closing. And we'll talk about the closing when we're done with the session. So we're going to open that way, and then I'm going to grab my partner's hands, Rodney, and we're going to do what I call a circuitry exercise. Now, this is based on the polarity principles of energy flowing through a body. The left side of your body is your feminine side. This is for both sexes, both genders. The left side is your feminine side. Our right side is our masculine. Masculine is exertive. It shoots it out there. It expresses itself. Feminine is receiving, receptive, allowing, comforting. So I'm going to put my left hand here, and Ronnie's going to put his right hand here, which is his masculine. His masculine's feeding my feminine's feeding his masculine. And it's a nice, great circuitry exercise so we get the energies flowing. And after we do that, I'm going to start with a prayer, and I'm going to give you my prayer verbatim, what I state. I like to change it up every time I do it because I make it like it's not rote. When something's too rote for me, I lose the meaning of it. So what you're going to hear me do today is a rendition, one of the many versions I might say, but it always starts the same way, and I always end the same way. So I always start by calling in the guides and my intentions, and I'll tell you how I always end that prayer is with thanks. You guys, gratitude goes a far way in life, and it goes a super far way when you're working these other dimensions. They too appreciate respect, and they give you nothing but love back. Well, at least the beings I'm talking to, because I am calling in the higher vibrations. We're going to be calling in the guides, source energy, source wisdom, and when the different characters, they do come to the board. I'll explain who's coming through, and we could talk about that later. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to start my recorder right now, and on my recorder, I'm going to have the breathing exercise and the prayer. So. As soon as I get this to work. There we go. We're starting right now. I always state the date too. Today is April 25th, 2017, when we're recording it. The time is 4:50 p.m. I'm here with Rodney, and we're also here with the viewers from the YouTube channel. And we will start. Breathing first. Wow, this energy's strong. Ooh, they're here. Circuitry exercise. God, Goddess, Universe, Spirit, all our guides, guardians, angels, and relationships to have our best interest at heart. We are here today, Rodney and myself, and the viewers of this YouTube channel. We are gathered today to seek universal truth, knowledge, wisdom, inspiration, love, guidance, all those things that can help us live a better life, to be better people in the world. We also welcome any messages that need to come through that are important to this group, this collective group that we've gathered here today. And I always say thank you in advance for the communications, the guidance, the friendship, the teacherhood, everything that we do together when we have these conversations. I so appreciate it, and thank you. And so with that, I say thanks, and we may begin. Okay, so this is them moving. They start right away. I immediately pick up my pen, and I go to one finger. P, and I call the letters out. L, E, A, S, E, B, E, L, I, E, V, E, O, R, D O N O T B E L I E V E T O B E S A F E W E S U G G E S T T H A T Y O U D O N O T B E L I E V E I F Y O U A R E F E A R F U L T H E N B E S C A R E D I if I got the word Y O U F E E L T, sorry, they're swiping here. J O Y T H E N L A U G H B U T H E A R O U R M E S S A G E A N D D E C I D E I F I T W I L L B E N E F I T Y O U R L I F E I if I got the word again, Y E S T H E N E M B R A C E I T I F N O T R E J E C T O U T O F H A N D. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And, you know, it's kind of a little illegible and I'm all over the place. I'm trying to look back and forth and write. And so I kind of write big anyway. All right, so now this is where we read it to you. Please believe or do not believe to be safe. We suggest that you do not believe if you are fearful. Then be scared. If you feel joy, then laugh. But hear our message and decide if it will benefit your life. If yes, then embrace it. If not, reject out of hand. Interesting, reject out of hand. Interesting term. So this is their disclaimer, as you heard. One of the really beautiful things that I've learned about the spirit guides, anybody's spirit guides and angels, they're never going to force you or tell you what to do. They may give you ideas of things to think about, suggestions, and they're no different. So when they're coming through, they're going to say, we're going to share some message with you. Yay or nay, it doesn't matter to us. And I think it's a good place for all of us to be. You could be skeptic, you could be excited, you could be like, I don't know about this. But you know what? When you get a message or something you don't like, you know what? You just don't have to listen to it. That's what I say. And if you're ever working the board and in the beginning, you know, you feel like something not so good came through, then you know what? Put it away. You don't really, it's through our choices we make in life that make all the difference of how our life is going to be. It's through the power of our choice. So they're asking you to choose the message or not. And you might reject some of it. You might take all of it. You might take a little bit. You might go blah. And by the way, it's not going to hurt my feelings either. I've distanced myself from this. I am just a messenger myself, just providing the messages. Do you want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
So let's see what I'm going to turn the page because it's going to be turned anyway. So let's see what else they have to say. Oh, well, let me say something to the spirit guides because they'll start running around if I don't say something. Oh, they're saying we already heard you, Karen, but I'm going to state it for you because I'm telling them that you didn't hear what I said. I was asking them to what message or guidance or advice would they give you to help you begin to use this tool in a very empowered way. And so you could begin to see it's not the tool that does it, but it's truly yourself. And so I'm asking them, what would they like to say, or what do they know would really bring this home? They're saying you've already been saying it. Okay. I'll have them saying it in their own way. They're talking to me right now. Okay, here we go. Okay, that why it goes up there is this is one of my spirit guides I call the sun. He's waiting for me to say this. I only call him the sun because that's where the spirit guide entered. It turns out really it's a collective group of souls who have never been incarnated. They're ethereal beings and they're not gender specific, they're androgynous. But I still like to separate them out and call them the sun and moon because that's where they enter. And I've been doing this since 1994 with them. Okay, thank you, sun. He's fun to have. He's very direct. L. I. V, E. Okay, and by the way, the reason why it goes here, this is where my guides go when they're done speaking, and that's how I know they're done with that sentence they just gave us. And that's where they go when we say goodbye. They never go down here. I haven't had a spirit go down here probably and this to the goodbye probably since the mid '80s. So they stop here, and we're all comfortable with that. All right, this is what the sun says. Liars lie to you, yet you believe. Thieves steal from you, yet you believe. It's kind of poetic, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Liars lie to you, yet you believe. Thieves steal from you, yet you believe. Okay, we're going somewhere with this, you guys. Thank you, sun. You know I love you. Okay, the moon's here. Now the moon jumped in. This is the moon. Hold on a second, moon. Thank you. I'm going to explain. This is another aspect of the same collective group of beings. I just like to call her a she, and I like to call the sun a he, because in cultures of antiquity, the moon is associated with the Bella Luna, the feminine, and the masculine soul. And so it's a masculine energy. So To me, it reminds me, and I think this is why they do it, and we wrote about this in my third book, The Spirit of Alchemy. It's about balancing the polarities within ourselves, the dichotomy, the duality within ourselves. And I feel like my spirit guides embody that. Although they're saying right now, we're truly androgynous, we're all of light, and that's all we know. But for us in the human form, it kind of helps to have that distinction. So I'm calling her the Moon. I've been calling her that since 1994. Thank you, Moon, for the patience. Okay. T H E T E A. Thank you. L. Sometimes they swipe, you guys. It's almost like swiping on your text board, and it kind of freaks me out because they cross over a letter, and I'm supposed to just know. So, okay. STEAL. What was next? Thank you. W I L L.
T
H L I A R S. Okay, stopped. All right, so a couple things here. You can see the sessions are really long. They have a lot to say, and we typically will get pages and pages without them stopping. Now, you may be wondering, why is this planchette going to letters up here? The only reason why, and we learned this, oh my gosh, this was probably around the mid-'80s. As I started using the board more and more, I became the person who had the board facing me. I became the person to ask questions. What was my board? I owned it. And I was the one that was really using it, so the board always started facing me, and then I had to put the planchette, well, not like this. Well, put your fingers on there. How well do your fingers fit there? Right. Or put your hands here. Still a little hard. We could probably do it like that. But so what I designed over the years so everybody can always do this on both sides is if it goes here, it's going to fall off. See that? If it goes to the end, it jumps off unless it twists itself around. So I said, you know what? I got an idea. Why don't you use the A up at top of the board and use the N here? And so it just started using all the big letters and even the O here. So that's the reason why it's doing that. It makes it of ease of us, or me, to be able to see which letter it's going to as opposed to falling off and having to put it back on. Sometimes we'll use letters down here where the goodbye is. That's happened before too. So just wanted to explain that to you in case you were curious.
I'm more curious.
I'm very curious to what they said. All right, so we know the sun came in, and he said, and the moon came in after. I'm going to read what the sun said again. Liars lie to you, yet you believe. Thieves steal from you, yet you believe. The help you need does not come from the board, nor does it come from us. You can only help yourself. We wish to guide and support you. Those who cheat and steal will cheat and steal from you. We would tell you that you were born with total freedom. You were born with total freedom, and throughout there's a word missing, and we'll get to that in a second. There's something missing here. You choose to give more and more of your freedom carelessly. This lack will inhibit your connection because you believe to be nothing. This board will only work so that you may seek and speak with liars. Okay, I think, what word do you think that is missing there? I think it's the word life, but let me ask them.
Yeah, I think it's
now, you guys, when there's a word missing, it's not because they messed up. It's because this is such a slow process for them. This is really hard for these higher beings to come through and break it down into letters. They come in packets of information. In fact, when I get them, it's more of a feeling sensation within me. I feel it here, and then I can receive the messages, and it comes instantaneous. So if a word's missing, they remind me it's because my own filters or our filters here, we're not able to keep up. Let's ask what that word is. Did I get a word wrong? Freedom. Source. Oh, thank you. That's great. Okay, we'll explain that too. Okay, what word is missing? I'm just gonna ask them. I circle it on the page. I point to it. What word? This is when I use. This is not a yes/no question, but this is when I will either ask yes/no questions only for clarification purposes. I rarely will ask yes/no questions because what it does, it stops you and this tool, and you developing yourself with this tool and with the guides or your spirits or angels to have complete sentences. If you want to have verbosity, which I get here, I refrained for a very long time asking yes/no questions. I can ask yes/no question now, they'll still spell it out. And then they'll go on and say something else.
They may spell it out, or they may say yes or no.
But a lot of times they'll go on and give a whole soliloquy.
Right.
Because we just learned that over the years. So you guys, what word is missing right there? And then I'll read it to you guys again. L, I, okay, so we thought F, it's life. Okay, life, got it. All right, so he pointed out a word to me that I missed because they use, what do we call them? It's like LOL, laugh out loud. They use shortcuts, shorthand. It's like they have a shorthand texting on this board, and they use the letter S by itself to represent source. And when they use the letter S, they're talking about source. They're talking about God. They're talking about all that is, the one being. So Rodney pointed out it's here, and I missed it. See, Ouija whisperer to the rescue. All right, so try this again. The help you need does not come from the board, nor does it come from us. You can only help yourself. We wish to guide and support you. Those who cheat and steal will cheat and steal from you. We would tell you that you were born with total freedom, and throughout your life you choose to give more and more of your freedom carelessly. This lack will inhibit your connection because you believe Source to be nothing. This board will only work so that you may seek and speak with liars. So that's a very interesting way of saying you really got to find, okay, so I know what they're trying to say. They're trying to say the board is just masonite. It's not, there's no legitimacy to it. It's the message you receive that we need to look toward. And if people are going to lie to you in life, they're going to lie to you. And if you connect with these lower astrals, they're going to lie to you, they're going to lie to you. The best thing to do is to believe that Source is within you, that you're an extension of Source, and then work this tool, you guys. Because when you know you're empowered already, you're going to realize you don't need this tool. But it definitely was a good stepping stone for me and for many others. I'm not going to denounce it. But they're saying you don't rely on the board, rely on yourself. But yet our choice to give our freedoms of choice away carelessly really inhibits us. They're saying inhibits us from being able to really know this, that we truly are the answer, the solution, the source, the experience. It's really right here. So let's get a little further clarification. What else would you like to tell them about this? Because I think we're getting to something still. R L I E F, sorry, F E. Okay, was that an F? Was that an F? No. See, that's when I'll ask yes, no questions too. Okay, that was no F there. Let me cross that out. E. Oh. Okay, there's not. Wait, you went to E. Let's okay. Start. Thank you. They're going to start over again. Now they went to buy because that's a code we worked out. I said if I'm just not getting it up here, go to buy. And they said okay. So we're going to start with that again. L I F E E. C H O I C E. Okay. Whew, that's a lot.
It seems like whenever we do a group that happens.
Yeah, you want to tell them a little about that? Why that happens?
It's just my
well, they
opinion,
told us
but
why.
I think because we have when it's just you, me, and them, it's that's the group. Mm-hmm. When it's a bigger group, it's the entire group that is included in a sort of a collective, and so they're trying to
the collective. Mm-hmm.
They're trying to touch with everything they say. They want to be able to touch everybody and their energy within that group, even to the point where they say, if you don't believe this, don't believe it. If you're scared of it, fear it.
Yeah.
And they'll tell everybody.
Because, in the group, you've got such a wide variety of consciousness, of psyches that are influencing the session. How they do their readings is they read vibration. So whether you're watching us now, whether you're watching it later, there's going to be something that you're going to find. It's just the way the messages are encoded in their information.
They have no time.
There's no sense of time, but
So
yet
they
they understand the time that's happening for us, but they also understand all the people that are going to come and be a part of this message.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
It's I like to think of it as spirals again. They know how to include and encompass everything that's involved at any given point in time, whether it's in this dot here or way out here. They fully understand. Was that geometry?
Sacred geometry.
Sacred geometry. That's very true. Sacred geometry. Okay. And who said it? Your geometry in school wouldn't come in handy. In just a second. Let me read this message to you. Perception is not belief, though it is treated as so. So your perception is not belief, though it is treated as so. You must make the distinction. Are you being clothed for the sake of modesty or to cover your life energy, which is your aura? Or are they robbing you of your humanity, therefore your freedom? All the while telling you it is your choice. Make choices that are yours from independent thought, not a forced choice. Boy, that gets pretty deep, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You guys are really looking at here, is the dog wagging the tail? They're looking at where are your choices coming from? Are they from other people's perceptions, which you bring in, you think those are actually treated as, they said, as beliefs, but they're perceptions. People always want to give you their own perceptions and have you think that's the way it should be, because the perceptions come within the filters of their own constriction of their own minds. We're all that. We all have that. We all have our boxes around us, whether our boxes are way the hell out there into the cosmos or our boxes around us in our house that we live. So we have those, but people will often, we've talked about this in the show before, they will often think you're different, you're silly, you're wrong because you enjoy doing spirit communication or because you're pursuing something that not the typical people do. They're saying really come to your own conclusions. Use your own power that was given to you, your freedom of power of choice, and let your beliefs be built upon that. And as they said at the end, they said, therefore your freedom, which is your, are they robbing you of your humanity, all the while telling you it is your choice? It's like somebody saying, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, I know you should be doing this. That's like they're robbing you of your choice and almost making you want to either do it because you don't want to hear the riffraff anymore from it or the backlash, and so you just do it. But you got to start looking at yourself for your own individual choices. They're telling you it is your choice. Make choices that are from independent thought, not a forced choice.
It's interesting how they often use something simple that everybody can feel or see, the clothing. Right?
Yeah.
They use
clothing.
You're being clothed. Is it for modesty or is it, what do they say?
Is it for modesty are you being clothed for the sake of modesty or to cover your life energy?
That's something everybody can understand.
Yeah, so you put clothes on. We're doing it because our culture asks us to, and it's for modesty, right? But they're saying maybe you're clothing yourself in other ways that takes away your life energy. And they're even using the word your aura. Or are they could be anybody. It could be your sister. It could be yourself. It could be your mother, your brother, the institutions you follow. It could be me. It's really, they're saying they could be anybody. Really, it's, you don't want anybody to take away the freedom of your free will, which is your power to make choices, and choices built upon what you want to do. You don't just, I don't think, everybody writes to me, you say you don't want to just clothe yourself in,
it could be a metaphor too, right?
It's a metaphor. Yeah, I think it's a metaphor.
Yeah,
you don't want to close yourself to not lock yourself down. This channel, this group that we have here is really about opening ourselves more and more to the possibilities of life in practical ways. Even though we're working with different energies, it's still very practical. So they're saying, yeah, are you clothing just for modesty, or are you clothing to cover up your energy? That's like your soul. That's like your essence of who you are.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting direction they went today, isn't it?
That's interesting. It really is.
I will tell you guys this. I've been working with the guides last week, and a lot of the stuff that was coming through, they were telling me without the board, was about the power of choice. And they were talking to me about this, so I understand where they're going with this. They really want us to see that the most powerful thing that any of us can do is to have our independent thought that makes our own choice with anything we do. And if we can teach our children, our friends, and others about this, that it's really important that we work with the power of our minds, work with the power of our essence and our aura and our energies, and to allow that to have its own voice and not to just be covered up because that's what you're told. Things have been in the past, things must stay that way. But if you do cover up for metaphorically your essence, make it your choice. Make it your choice and nobody else's. Okay, when we always get ready to end the session, we ask if there's a final message they'd like to relay to us. So I'm going to ask that right now. I usually just say, what's the final message, closing statement you'd like to give to us? As you notice, they do an opening statement, and then we just go right into messages. And then we may ask questions. In this case, we're just letting them speak to us right now. We will be doing in the future some open message circles where you'll be able to join us live and participate and ask questions and communicate with them directly. But right now, this is just about them giving us some messages. So I'm going to say to them now, is there any, you guys, I just talk to them directly like they're here in the room because they really are. And as if they're like another friend of mine, another person here that I have a lot of respect for. Okay, you guys, what would be the final statement or the closing statement, comments you'd like to make for us in this group? And here we go with that. B, E, W, A, R, E, T, H, O, S, E, W, H, O, W, O, U, L, D, C, L, O, T, H, Y, O, U, I, N, F, E, A, R, A, N, D, C, H, A, O, S, A, N, D, R, U, M, O, R, S, S, E, E, K, I, N, S, T, E, A, D, T, H, O, S, E, T, H, A, T, W, O, U, L, D, C, L, O, T, H, Y, O, U, I, N, F, R, E, E, D, O, M. Okay, final statement. This is what they said. Beware those who would cloth you, not clothe, that's weird, cloth you in fear and chaos and rumors. Seek instead those that would cloth you in freedom. So I don't think they mince their words by saying cloth instead of clothe.
No.
It's very interesting, cloth you. That's interesting. What do you think of that? What do you make of that, Ouija whisperer?
I don't know. Maybe there is a cloth of fear, a cloth of, of evil, a cloth of chaos, a cloth of...
This is okay. Even though that was our final statement, I'm still going to say, give us a little more clarification. You used the word cloth instead of clothes, and I'm sure it's the perfect word to use, but I'm just curious. So I ask. M, E, T, A, P, H-O-R, just a metaphor. So cloth is like a cloth, but I get it. Instead of saying it's like clothes or something you would adorn your body with or wear the latest styles, it's just like cloth. Cloth is just like a tablecloth. You just put cloth covers things. So that makes sense, doesn't it? It's a cloth. Yeah, it's a metaphor for just clothing something over, cloaking it in a way. So beware those who would cloth you in fear and chaos and rumors. Seek instead those that would cloth you in freedom. Well, that's a nice final message.
Yeah, I think those that would tell you to, independent thought, be your own person.
That's having the freedom. That's the cloth of freedom.
Right.
Oh, that's nice. Nice metaphor. So what we do now, that's what we do now since we got our last statement. We thank the guides, and I'll walk you through this, and then we just put our hands on the planchette and you watch what happens. It doesn't go to goodbye, but they lift. I don't know. Do you feel anything? Do you ever feel anything? I do. I don't know if you do.
It's just nothing there anymore. It's just empty.
Okay. All right. So in a sense, there was energy.
Yeah.
And now it's dissipated.
Right. It's almost like a sigh.
That's a nice way of thinking about it. You guys, this is such a feeling type of tool to use. It's not in the mind so much. You really feel everything. And so when I talk to you about this stuff, and even on the Women of Ouija, we would talk to you a lot about things. And on this channel as well, it's going to be a lot of feeling stuff, because truly the feeling is your channel without any kind of tools that takes you into the other realms. That is how you journey into other realms, is through the feeling. And for me, I like to locate it in my heart, because that's where I typically feel feelings. And I think all of us do, heart, stomach, and this whole area. And so when you feel that becomes your opening. That's why it's really important to have your feelings, because they do become the energetic systems that allow you to reach into these realms and to receive the communications.
And it's interesting that they never tell anybody what to believe.
No, of course not.
And yet they will tell you, don't believe. As a matter of fact, don't believe.
Yeah, right. Remember what they said in the beginning.
And the people that are telling you that you have to believe this, you have to believe that, you might want to... Maybe that's their way of saying, think twice about even them.
See, Ouija whispered. Here he is kicking in now.
I'm just...
I think you made a really good point, Rodney, because allowing yourself to step back in a way, if somebody's saying something to you that doesn't feel, here we go, here's the feelings. They're saying, that's right. Okay, so here's the feelings. You feel something and you're going, why is this person clothing me, cloaking me, covering me? It's not because I got modesty, but I feel like I can't be myself. I can't feel my essence. I like that. Think twice.
Yeah.
Does that feel heartfelt? Does that feel uplifted? Does that feel right? Does that feel freedom? Does that feel free to you? Does it feel like you're expressing your choices of who and how, what you want to be in this world and how you want to live your life?
And maybe, obviously not physical cloth.
Right, it's a metaphor, they said.
It's a metaphor.
For sure.
So the cloth of freedom may simply be to be more expressive, to express yourself more. The public be damned. The common thought be damned. Right.
I think there you have it. So you can see why I call them. Anyway, this has been great. So here we are. We're going to end this session now. Guides, I want to thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate your time. I appreciate our relationship, communication, and I look forward to the next time we commune again. And with that, we say thank you. That's it. That's all my group of guides do. Your guides might do something else, and that's totally fine. This is what mine have always done.
Well, so. and she's asked them to do a lot of things. Okay, we want you to go down here when we've made a mistake.
Or go up here for the A or N. Yeah. So however they want to end it, they can end it, and this is what's comfortable for both parties. And so when we close it now, just to let everybody know, I feel like, I love what you said, they kind of just switch. How did you say it? I said dissipated. I think you said.
So it's a heavy sigh, like a sigh.
Okay, so this is what I do now. I would blow out my candle. Now I'll tell you, I'm closing the space. I would turn off my recorder, which I'll do right now. Since I'm talking to you, I'm not going to turn off the computer. And then what I would do is put stuff away. I put this board, I keep this in a nice bag-like box. I keep this in a box. And I have a lot of my boards up displayed in my house, but this one is, I use it all the time. So I really just keep this one separate. So I'll put the stuff away. I will take these recordings, I'll upload them to my cloud, clean up the space here of the stones, I'll put these back to my altar, put things away, close it, and step aside from the session. The idea is you're at a sacred space, and we're transitioning now back into the mundane. We're transferring from this wonderful energy of vibration and bringing us back now to the human level, just going back to my normal existence. And it's important to do that. So I often say we might have a conversation, and the people here in the group, we would have a conversation a little bit longer after we've ended it, and then we'd be done and say our goodbyes and then end it for the day. It's important when you do any of this work, as I mentioned earlier, to ground and also to reground yourself. And you reground yourself by leaving it, putting things away. I don't have any special ceremony. I feel really good. I feel really uplifted. In fact, I feel really centered in myself. And so what I'll do now is probably just go make myself some dinner. And then, eat my food, ingest it, and that's another way of grounding. Well, I hope this helped you today. The whole idea was to give you an example of my sessions that I do with a partner of mine and how they run from point A to point Z and everything in between, because you've been asking me these questions.
I think there's many people that the first time they see this, they're going to have received some sort of message as well.
I hope so.
I mean, they're not going to leave you behind. They're not going to leave anybody behind.
So again, thank you all for being here today. This is Creative Visions TV, and I'm your host, Karen Dahlman. And thank you, Rodney, for joining us today.
You're welcome, of course.
Bye-bye, guys. See you real soon.